How cancer saved my life and why pain is a good thing. Hey guys, so another episode of the Mom is in Control podcast. And as you know, I am doing a series, or kind of the theme of 2018 is This is Easy. I am determined to make every aspect of my life feel easy. And the reason why I started to do this kind of podcast series was because I'm in the process of writing a book, and this is something that I've always wanted to do. And when I say always, I've been dreaming of becoming an author for, I want to say, at least 13-ish plus 15 years. It was always an idea, and the fear and the doubt and the worry and everything that clouded that decision was there. And so now I'm dealing with all of the resistance of why I waited for so long, which is I'm not a writer. This is a belief that I have. And so I'm working through it, and I can almost say I am a writer. That's what I can say now. So it's working. It's happening. But I'm just determined to make this as easy. And it's funny to observe my own behavior and watch how resistance will manifest in your life, or how you try to sabotage your success through making yourself feel busy or overcomplicating things, or going, oh, this is so hard. And I see it all the time in myself. I have, friends and colleagues and accountability partners who call me out on my shit. I've hired people to work with to really help me process through this stuff, and to help me improve my mindset. And I'm fully committed to this process, that even though it's uncomfortable, it will happen. It is happening. And that's what I want to talk about today. I want to talk about how cancer saved my life. I've talked about this before, but I'm a completely different person today than I was 5 years ago, pre-diagnosis. I don't really associate myself with, I don't really like to talk about the fact that I had cancer, but it's one of those things where it was a near-death experience. And when I say near-death, I mean I had stage 4, there was no stage 5, and it was a huge aha moment. And why pain is a huge motivator. Sometimes when I'm talking to a woman and, she's talking about her children, or her mission in life, or her desire to really succeed financially, or really succeed in her health and well-being, sometimes people are more motivated than others. And I wonder why, right? I wonder why. And I'm a huge advocate for, not a huge advocate. I love risk and resilience. This is my thing. This is what I studied in school. I love learning about it in children. I love learning about it in adults. And I'm just what makes one person tick? And, what makes somebody so driven to succeed? And then, another person who may have the exact same opportunity, or less opportunity, or more opportunity, just not be as motivated to succeed, or being bogged down by their excuses and their beliefs. So it blows my mind. And I've seen people who, in the same mindset, diagnose similar situations, just, their mindset shifts and it goes in the opposite direction, and they're stuck in this poor me and victim mode. And, I've read all the books, I've read the studies, I've done a lot of frickin' work on myself, and I didn't do it by myself. I've, worked with a lot of different practitioners through psychology, through Western medicine, Eastern medicine, energy healing, you name it, I've pretty much done it. Name the supplement, I've probably taken it. And all of that got me to this point of shifting the energy, and by no means am I perfect. It's all about progress, not perfection. But I can say, when I'm talking to somebody, I go, what's your why? Why do you want to do this? Why do you want to succeed? Why do you want to become the best version of yourself? Why do you want to make more money? Why do you want to travel the world with your children? Why do you want to improve your marriage? Why do you want to be able to sleep through the night, and shift your energy? And the people who say yes to making shit happen in their lives, and they're so committed and they show up and they ask for help. I can tell from our first conversation that those people are the go-getters. Those people are the ambitious action takers. And they have this internal drive that not a lot of people have. And oftentimes I ask, what is it? What's the motivator? And they'll tell me a story about somebody in their life that maybe has passed away, or something personally that has happened to them. Or they'll say, Heather, I'm just so done struggling. I'm so done suffering. I've been trying to solve this problem for years and years and years. And, I've tried everything and I'm just ready. I'm so done. And I get it. And I think I've talked about this before, where I don't know why as women we need to give ourselves permission to end our suffering or end the discomfort, but it is a complete surrender. It's when you finally say, I'm allowing myself for my life to be easy. And I see so many women just putting more and more and more on their plate, and then they laugh at themselves and go, I know, it's a choice. And yes, it's a choice, but remember that this is deep programming that we're going through. This is deep psychological, sometimes trauma that has happened to us or our parents or our parents' parents. And we need to rewind all of this trauma and the generational patterns and ask yourself, how can I make this easier? And by sometimes saying yes to easy, we disappoint a lot of people because we've been holding them up for so many years. And sometimes that equates to divorce or loss of friendships, loss of job. Sometimes our children struggle a little bit more for a little while until they realize that, they need some independence because we've been spoon feeding them for too long. So the reason why I always say cancer saved my life is because without it, I would have still been wearing a badge, the martyr syndrome, or becoming the martyr, however you want to say it. I would have been wearing my exhaustion and fatigue like a badge of honor. And, I used to look at people who had their shit together and were energized and healthy, and I would actually judge them and say, they were bad moms. I was that person that would say, oh, they're bad moms because they're not trying hard enough, because they're not exhausted. And my definition of motherhood was through the lens of exhaustion. But when I realized that was no longer sustainable, and I learned that early on in motherhood, it really opened my eyes to how, as a society, we're just really screwing up women. We're screwing up our children by believing that being chronically fatigued and miserable and angry and resentful is the only way to be a good mother. And we truly, truly, truly have to shift this conversation. So again, it saved my life. It allowed me to wake up and it forced me to learn how to live. I didn't know how to live. I actually wasn't afraid of dying. I was afraid because I didn't know how to live. I knew how to operate on autopilot, and that was about it. I knew how to hustle. I knew how to take care of everybody except for myself. I knew how to make shit happen, but not from a place of feeling full. And so pain was a great motivator for me because I was in so much pain to the point where I finally said, I surrender. Please allow this to become easier for me. So where in your life are you utilizing your pain and not utilizing it yet as a motivator? Or maybe you have. Where in your life are you saying, I am in enough pain that I will finally ask for the help that I need? And it's very interesting because now my mindset is the complete opposite. When I need help with something and I'm like, oh, this is uncomfortable, and I try to work through it for myself, I will ask for help, like immediately. Like, hey, tonight, for example, we were cleaning up and I had to drive one kid here and get another kid there. And my husband is, been sick in bed, which is unusual for him. And I was like, hey, I need help with the dishes. One kid, can you do the dishes? Another kid, can you, feed the dogs? Another kid, can you, put the shoes away? Just something simple of like asking for help. And then looking around and going, okay, things are getting done because I asked, right? The world, my life purpose is not to be a slave. My life purpose is not to be a maid. My life purpose is to be happy and joyful. And by becoming happy and joyful, I can be of service to the world. And that's pretty much everybody's life purpose. It's all about joy. Life is about joy. And when you can find the joy in the moment, what you're able to do is just teach others to do the exact same thing. So just because I gave birth to children, or just because you gave birth to children, or you adopted children, or however children have come in your life, if you even have children, it doesn't mean that you are their maid or their slave. We have responsibilities, yes, to feed our children, to house our children, to clothe them, and, hopefully love them. But be mindful that it's just a relationship. That's all it is. And whether it's a partner or a friend, how would you respond to them? Would you invite them into your home and say, here's a meal and you're welcome to sleep here tonight, and here's an extra change of clothes if you need it? This is what parenting is. It's not, it's a sacred relationship and it's a sacred duty, but it doesn't need to consume all of who we are. And so that's why I'm such an advocate for helping you evolve how you live, work, play, and parent. So we have until March 1st. I want to read your applications and I'll be in touch if it's a good fit. The Mom is in Control Mastery program is now open. So head on over to momisincontrol.com, and I want to know your big vision. So on that application, there's a few questions, and I want to know, what is your big vision? So in the mastery program, this is all about, we're not diving into the past. We're not rehashing your childhood. What we're doing is creating that vision for what you want in your life moving forward. What do you want your business to look like, or your work, or, being of service to the world? What do you want that to look like? What do you want your other relationships to look like? What do you want parenting to feel like? What about when you look in your bank account? What about your time and your energy? So we're going to look at all aspects of your life, and we're going to create that new vision for you as if it's already happened. And then together, you and we're going to co-create this. So we're going to do some coaching, and when blocks come up for you, we're going to remove them and push them out of the way. And through this process, through training and one-on-one coaching and the sense of community with other like-minded go-getters like yourself, you're going to learn how to set up your day in alignment with how you want to feel, how to, create that compassionate communication with your child or with your spouse or whoever, how to lead from a place of love rather than anger or misery, how to have an abundant mindset instead of lack and fear. And so, yes, you will be pushed. Yes, you will be uncomfortable, but this is about leadership, and this is about leading your life and making a difference in the world. So if you are done and you are so freaking done with your excuses, you're so done saying, I don't have enough time, I don't have enough money, I don't have enough energy, and things around you are starting to feel like they're falling apart, or you have this bigger ache for more, but you don't know how to manifest it, that's exactly what I'm going to show you in the Mom is in Control Mastery program. So head on over to momisincontrol.com/mastery. Fill out that application. I will personally read it and respond and be in touch with your next steps. Filling out the application itself does not automatically mean that you're in the program. You and I have to have an introductory call first to make sure that it's a good fit. so that I get a sense of your goals, where you're at, maybe where you're stuck, and, for you to ask me anything you want to ask me. Obviously, you should be able to interview me too as a coach. If you're making an investment in yourself, you want to make sure that it's a good fit. So momisincontrol.com/mastery. All right, guys, talk soon.